Okay, we finally came to the end of our lecture. Now we will switch our focus from the sociocultural tradition to the rhetorical tradition, and here we will discuss Richard Weaver's theory of truth and rhetoric. Richard Weaver was someone who had a conservative worldview, and his religiously grounded worldview colored his thinking about humans and rhetoric. He argued that humans are composed of three parts: the body, the mind, and soul. He said we access, understand, and communicate truth through these faculties. The body, of course, is the physical part. We have senses. We perceive and understand the world around us through these senses. We see, we hear, we touch, we smell, we taste, right? The mind is the second part. This is the rational thought, or our ability to think. The soul, on the other hand, is our moral compass, our ability to distinguish good and bad, right and wrong. So, according to Weaver, there are three levels of knowledge. The first level is the level of ideas. These are the facts, material world around us, or the things that we know and experience without much reflection. The second level is the beliefs and convictions. Based on our beliefs and convictions, we make generalizations. And the last level is the metaphysical dream, the ideal reality, or reality in its ideal form. This is where the truth resides. Truth is the degree to which ideas and convictions conform to their ideal form. For example, equality is an ideal, is a metaphysical dream on our part, right? But whether our reality, the conditions we live in, or the choices we make in a given moment correspond to this ideal or not is a totally different question. People do not have the complete freedom to define the metaphysical dream for themselves. This dream stems from the culture's ideals. Weaver defines these ideals as the tyrannizing image. It is the vision of perfection or excellence toward which the society strives. It is the culture's ultimate values, such as freedom, independence, pursuit of happiness, and so on. So for Weaver, rhetoric embodies and promotes these cultural ideas. So one of the goals of a rhetorical analysis is to identify or uncover the underlying values of the speech and the speaker. Why is the speaker is making the argument he's making, and how that argument is substantiated are the important questions to ask in an analysis. He believes that types of arguments a person is habitually making reveals his truths, his values, and his worldview. If a speaker uses a particular argument consistently, he or she is asking not only that the audience accept the argument, but also accept the particular construction of reality that underlies that argument. According to Weaver, there are four types of arguments: genus, similitude, cause and effect, and testimony. Genus uses accepted definitions and categories to make an argument. Saying, like, X is a sin is a good example of arguing from genus. In that sentence, the word sin is a genus. It is an accepted and agreed upon concept, and the speaker doesn't need to explain what constitutes a sin. Saying X is a sin simply justifies his argument. A similitude is when a speaker uses similarities as the basis for his argument. Analogy, metaphor, comparisons, examples are in this category. Cause and effect argument, on the other hand, represents something as the cause of something else. An argument that relies on testimony, on the other hand, uses the statements made by experts to justify the argument. Beyond these, we would suggest that we also need to analyze the grammatical categories and ultimate terms that the speaker might be using while he is making his arguments. According to him, the grammatical categories a speaker uses may reveal that speaker's worldview. For example, simple grammar and simple sentence structures may point to the educational level of the speaker or level of complexity of his thoughts. Those who have capacity to have complex thoughts probably would use complex ways of expressing those thoughts. Our scholarly articles are a good example of it. Unless you have a certain level of complexity, ability to think in complex terms, you may not be able to write those articles or read and understand those articles. Ultimate terms, on the other hand, are the terms that are sanctioned by the culture. These terms represent that culture's absolute values. We would suggest that we should interrogate them in our analysis because they reveal our worldviews. Well, we have come to the end of our lecture this week. I hope it helped you understand the chapter a little bit better or easier. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Send them to me as an email or maybe ask them on the blackboard. I'll try my best to answer them. But this is it for this week. I'll see you next time.